हाय हेलो सत श्री अकाल यू ऑल आर वाचिंग पंजाब केसरी नवोदय टाइम्स। मैं हूं आपके साथ नमिता सचदेव एंड टुडे वी हैव विद अस वन promising actress of the industry. Yes, when she is on screen, she like steals the screen. So yes, I have with me Vidya Malvade who is with us right now. Vidya, welcome to Punjab Kesari Navode Times.
Thank
कैसी हैं
you
आप?
so much. Thank you.
तो विद्या, सबसे पहले तो मैं ये जानना चाहूंगी आपका पहला इनकाउंटर इम्तियाज के साथ कैसा रहा था?
Very first encounter था. I think you know what? This is a story
हाँ
really. क्योंकि पहली
हाँ
बार मैंने जिस फिल्म के लिए ऑडिशन किया था, फर्स्ट टाइम एवर इन माय
हाँ।
लाइफ, वो थी इम्तियाज सर की पहली फिल्म. सोचा ना था.
अच्छा। ओ वाओ।
I think yeah. So that this is quite something. So can you imagine life is taken a full circle. और
वाह।
now I've come and finally worked with him. पर हाँ, शुरुआत उस फिल्म से हुई थी. उसके बाद I think हम दोनों ने एक अवार्ड साथ में दिया था कभी a few years ago. So that is when I first met him. And I think after he saw Chak De India at some point, he kind of I met him at Jabvi when he was making Jabvi Met, and he said, "Oh, I really like your
हाँ
journey. It's interesting and all that." So like a brief conversation, and then I think during of course this one, because what happened was कि मैं उनकी पहली चॉइस नहीं थी वैशाली के लिए अरोरा में, क्योंकि उनको उनको लगता था I mean मैं बहुत ग्लैमरस हूँ, जो मैं हूँ I think, लेकिन I was but I
That's
also can
interesting.
transform into a character
हाँ
if required. तो चक दे में तो आपने
हाँ
देखा ही है. जीनत
हाँ
करीम जो मिसमैच में किया है वो भी आपने देखा है. So
हाँ हाँ हाँ
and I feel like so I messaged him saying that, sir, please don't take a part away from me because of the way I look, because I can look like anything. So just give me
क्या
an
बात है।
opportunity. I'm a chameleon and I'm an artist, so that's my forte. And so you know what I did? मैं बामिनी और बॉयज की शूट कर रही थी. लास्ट अप्रैल था I think, last year in April.
हाँ
And I came back home, and on the way I called my maid up and I said, I want a sari and a blouse of yours, so you just take it out and keep, and I will I came home, I wore her clothes. I
हाँ
kind of put my hair back because that time I had golden hair because I was playing Bamini. So I tipped out my hair and I told my maid, I said, "Mere photo le le." We took the
अच्छा।
photos, and then I send them to the guys, and yeah, then he of course messaged me back saying, "Just give me a few days, let me be working on it." And then yeah,
हाँ
it happened, and it was just it
वन
is
फाइन डे यू गॉट अ कॉल, है ना?
one fine day I got that call saying that, okay, let's get a Zoom call with the directors, with the creators, with the creative producer and all that. And
हम्म।
yeah, from there I've never looked back. I think this has been the most satisfying um, part that I've ever played. Vaishali is
तो ये
just
तो ये वैशाली का किरदार तो सोचा ना था टाइप ही हो गया ना फिर, है ना?
exactly ना. पर मैंने ये मैनिफेस्ट
एब्सोल्युटली।
किया है. 11 साल पहले जब मैंने रॉकस्टार देखी थी, तब मैंने इम्तियाज सर
हाँ
को एक मैसेज भेजा था और कहा था कि आई मीन आई लव द फिल्म एंड एवरीथिंग, but towards the end I put a line saying that agar so even if I get to be a tree in your film, I would do it because I just love I just
वाओ।
love that you just the films that you make. And can you imagine 11 saal baad I've got a part of a lifetime with Vaishali. Matlab I've really worked hard on this one, and I've really gotten very deep into it, and with a lot of help from Archit, who's directed me in this one, to Sir, who's created it and also written it so beautifully. Arif as well, who's written it so beautifully.
एब्सोल्युटली। मैं तो ये भी बोलने वाली थी कि इम्तियाज ने आपको बोला कि मतलब यू लुक ग्लैमरस, है ना? जैसे आपने बोला आई डोंट लुक दैट ग्लैमरस, प्लीज वॉच मी, लाइक लुक एट मी इन अ साड़ी। बट उसमें इम्तियाज ने आपको जो लुक दिया है, दैट इज लाइक रियली ग्लैमरस, यू नो। साड़ी में यू आर लुकिंग सो हॉट।
I don't know if Vaishali is hot really, but I think I know what this was the one script. I think normally मैं सबकी last minute choice होती हूँ, whether it is Zeenat Karim, whatever I've done in the last few years, everything has come to me last minute. This was the
हाँ
script I sat with for 4 months because I was, I think, one of the first people to get on board. So from
हाँ
April last year, I've been sitting on it, and then I finally started shooting in like July, August, or something like that. And
हाँ
then I have gissoed. Like I knew my dialogues, I knew Kumoji's dialogue, I knew everything. And more than that, every time I read it, something new came to me. The first thing
हाँ
that hit
हाँ
me about Vaishali was you know how melancholy, जो खालीपन जो गाना चल रहा है, वो जो खालीपन उसमें है, I think that was very glaring to me in the reading itself, in the script itself. Then I remember when we were discussing about the character, I just felt like there's a little bit of a fragility to her that you see, you know, there's a little bit of a mystery to her. She's mysterious also in a lot of ways. The way it's also shot is like that. And then I felt like there's something simmering inside of her throughout. Matlab, like there is a volcano inside, but jo exterior hai, that we Imtiaz only defined it as like she's distant. So I felt like she's cold. She says, yeah, just keep her distant. That really will work. And so we sort of worked on that as well. And I think that sort of came across really nice. And especially in the end, when there's that whole, I mean, in the 8th episode, that's the only time when she actually ends up speaking, right? Or
emotional like, outbursts. Emotional outbursts.
Bursts, basically. And that is the only time you just feel like, Arey. But all throughout, zyada lines bhi nahi hai. There are not many lines. There's just her face, her eyes, her body language, and her persona. That's all you can see. You know, there is not much in terms of spoken lines as such.
So, any one tip or advice that Imtiaz asked you to do to keep in mind while performing well or while performing your character?
While performing, he told me to put on 2-3 kilos, which I did. I put on almost 3 kilos for the part. Phir bhi waise, I think my system is quite slender. My being is really slender. But I feel like
not
now
looking like that you have like put on 3 kg.
But because I think, which is why I wasn't the first choice, you know, because I think they wanted somebody who looks like a housewife, probably a little healthier, you know, not somebody who's petite and like that. But somehow now when I looked at some of the stuff that, some of the scenes that we've done, I feel like her fragility or my being not as plump has helped the character and even I think Archit felt the same way, so I'm quite kicked about that as well. और पहले मेरे ज़हन में ऐसा था कि okay, Vaishali is not supposed to look nice at all, so we just do something, my hair or whatever. We would normally, my hair is like this in terms of, you know, we kind of blow it and make it like this, and we were trying to make it into a choti and a bun or whatever. And then I realized that because we were shooting in July in Mumbai, a lot of stuff was also shot in Mumbai. It is going to be horrendous to keep my hair like this because my hair is very wavy.
Absolutely.
Like, very wavy. So I said, ये मेरे को दिन भर सिर्फ straighten या blow dry करना पड़ेगा और ये होएगा नहीं. So I should just quickly tell them that last minute on set, actually we've done this on day 1, that we made them into a slightly that kind of a look, which then mixed my hair in that only, because that's like my natural hair. So, and first Archit was like, what? Because they were like, oh, she's changed her hair. And everybody's like, oh my God, no, it's going to look really different. So Archit was like, does it look like you come out of a parlor? I said, no, Archit, I'll come on set.
Come out of a parlor.
So I came on set and yeah, because we didn't want anything like she's, you know, everything's like she could do at home. So I went on set and he's like, oh my God, this just adds so much to the character. I said, yeah, and nobody's seen me in hair like that also. So it will, you know, and that's also played a part in it. That's also played a part in making me look a little dated. You know, it is from the 80s, 90s sort of a thing.
80s, 90s, yes.
And it's I don't know. I feel like it gave me a persona. It gave me a different character, you know, in terms of even the look. And then, of course, Suvira and Swetesha have done such a wonderful job of just putting everything together. You know, whether it's the payal or the nose pin or anything. I didn't want her to look like Zenat, and I didn't want her to look like another show that I'm doing after this that's going to come out. I wanted her to
and not like Vidya also. Not like Vidya also.
Completely not like Vidya. Yeah. So there's very little eye, liner or anything. There's just the lips are like almost like just a slight shade of pink, and she's just like more stark, but I like that.
बट मेरे को एक चीज हमेशा से लगती है, विद्या तो सोकर भी उठती होंगी ना, तब भी बहुत प्यारी लगती होंगी, नहीं?
You're too kind, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. You're very pretty. But you have something in your face that hooks someone to watch at you or to look back. Hey, look at me. I'm there. You have that personality.
This is the one thing that I've always told myself, क्योंकि मुझे पता है, it's taken me a very long time to come to where I am today. और अभी भी इतनी सीरीज बनती है जितने इतने सारे कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं, तो लोग किस किस को देखे और किस किस को मिस कर जाए पता नहीं चलता. But I keep saying that when I'm on screen, your nazar will come to me, and that's it. I keep saying that,
very nice.
And I guess maybe that's why it translates. I don't know, but it's I mean, yeah, that's something that I tell myself all the time, that don't worry about anything else. When you're on screen, the audience will catch you. They'll keep looking
Definitely
at you.
yes. और ये बात हम इम्तिहान के टाइम से देख रहे हैं. When इम्तिहान came ना, then also. हाँ, मैंने 5-6 बार वो फिल्म देखी है, because मुझे बहुत पसंद है वो फिल्म.
Really? Wow, I'm so happy. Yeah, that
And
was
one Barbie doll-like character is Vidya's. You look like a Barbie doll in that. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm getting very embarrassed.
Now let's talk about Kumud Mishra and your chemistry on screen. That creates magic in itself. So how was it like working with him? He's a legendary actor, and he makes everyone also look at him, what he's doing. We want more coming out of him, and with you performing
there is a ton of stuff coming out of for him, which is amazing. Which he's right now also shooting, so can't do promotions here. But having said that, I think I had never met Kumud Mishra before. I've only heard of him, seen his work. So the first time I met him was at Imtiaz's office, and so there's this very delicate sequence that we do towards the end of the season in the last episode, which is this kind of a romantic sort of a lovemaking sort of a thing, which goes a little crazy, right? Now we were both. He's also never done something like that. I've done it once, twice before, but I've had very bad experiences. So I was very scared and very nervous. Also, there is one thing that you're doing a lovemaking sequence. There's another thing that there is an emotional charge to it. And there's a third thing to burst in the middle of it all. So I continuously, so that was like a monkey on my back throughout the shoot. So on day one, both of us are telling Imtiaz, हम लोग वो sequence पहले shoot करके खत्म करेंगे. उसके बाद हम life में थोड़े settle हो जाएंगे. वरना उसी के every time I would only be thinking about what and how many times I have rehearsed that particular scene with myself. It's like how are we going to do? What am I going to do? So it is. And then I think, and as luck may have it, that was the last thing we shot.
Achha.
So otherwise it was really cool. With the camaraderie was fabulous with Kumudji all throughout. It was always like, this fun, cute, roly-poly, like a teddy bear sort of a person around me all the time. But who is also a little chalu with me, you'll see, like, somebody asked me, what do you think of Dr. Aurora's character? And everybody else said so many nice things, and I was like conniving, because, but then towards that end, I have to really, really say that the comfort level that he brought along with me to do that particular scene, for me to get into this space of such a high voltage emotional drama and the physicality together of the lovemaking. I don't know, I think we did the first take and Archit was like, wow, this is fab. This is one thing I want. I need you to be, the physicality needs to be more, that you should feel like you're doing stuff. And I was like, and for a second I was like, मेरे से नहीं होगा क्या? Because मेरे दिमाग में हमेशा से वही रखा, emotionally तो मैं पहुंच जाऊंगी वहां तक, but physically साथ में लाने का, how will I do it? How is it going to happen? And I used to keep rehearsing that. And then the first take में जब ऐसा हुआ, then I was like, I don't know if I can do it. And then again I was like, okay, switch off and come back to it. And I did it. Second take, and Archit was, oh my God, this is bang on. We got it.
Wow.
And then I said, you know what? Let's just do a third take for me. You can maybe find something from this also. And we did another take. And I did that only because I felt that so comfortable doing this with Kumudji, because it was, he was just amazing as a co-star. And both of us, because I said initially we were so uncomfortable, and also a little bit of uncomfortableness was needed in the scene. but
Hmm.
we just got through it because I think it was just the chemistry that works between the two of us. And I think you've seen it, so you know that it
Yes,
does, right?
yes, yes,
And I
yes.
remember Imtiaz sending me a
And the scene
message,
came out
voice
so
note after
beautiful.
that.
Yes.
Oh, the voice note that Imtiaz sent me saying how outstanding I am in that whole sequence, and it's just you held it together so beautifully that that voice note, every time I feel a little down and if I doubt my skill set ever, that's the voice note I can go to, and but I
Hmm.
have to tell you, even Imtiaz has been so amazing about this one. I was shooting for Abhay 3 in Lucknow, and
Hmm.
he said give us a day at some point and come, because we want to do the blocking of this particular sequence.
Okay, okay.
And I flew down for a day. We went straight to Imtiaz's house. Kumudji, me, and Archit, and a couple of us were there. And we read the scene a couple of times. Then we went and we actually blocked the scene as to what is going to happen when, etc., etc. And at that time, I remember I was very, very nervous. And somehow, he just has, I think Imtiaz just has a knack of putting you at ease. I remember we were sitting, we finished blocking it once, and then I was literally almost like shaking a little bit. So me and Kumuji was sitting side by side on the bed, and Imtiaz sir sat on the floor literally, and he just held, my foot for like for like almost 5 minutes, and I was like, what is he doing? Why is he like, But he just kept talking. Okay, please don't mention this. I don't like saying this about
Obviously,
them.
obviously. Hmm.
So don't
Hmm.
mention that. So I think
Hmm.
Imtiaz sir was just sitting there and he just kept talking to me and just kept talking to me about, I don't know, I think what he spoke probably just went, I don't even remember well, but I just remember him hitting at some level in my brain and me thinking that, it's going to take 4 hours or 5 hours of me being uncomfortable doing this. But then once it's done, it'll be printed forever. And this is why
Hmm.
I've become an actor. So whatever it is, let go of your personal things that you have inside going, and just surrender to the character, surrender to these makers who are actually there spending their time with us. And he was literally sitting down and going through the whole sequence again with us, and it was just so outstanding. And I think that sort of changed
Absolutely.
it for me as well. And of course Kumud Mushra as well. So yeah,
Hmm.
that.
And as you said, ki you got a message from Imtiaz after you done the scene or like did this part so very well and wonderfully. So I think
Yeah,
coming from a director himself means a lot, right?
of course, because especially because we were so nervous about this. I was very,
Hmm.
very nervous. I've only made up my mind that okay, I'm an actor and this is what I'm supposed to do, and I'm going to do it to the best of my ability, come hell or high water. Like I said, the first take was, good emotionally, not so good physicality wise. The second take was that's it, and the third take came, and that was just mind blowing. Everybody had tears in their eyes after I finished that, including myself, because this whole big monkey on our backs was done and over with. And then, of course, that sequence continues. It's so high voltage between the two of us. The chemistry just kind of works really well. And so when Imtiaz saw it, he says, I saw the whole eighth episode and the entire sequence and the end in the jail, everything. And it just, I mean, I had tears in my eyes when I was listening to that voice note, because I was like, he didn't have to say all of these nice things to me. I'm just an actor on a set, and yeah, he doesn't have to, but he did. And I was jumping. I was like, guess what? I got like this voice note from Piaz, and it's so beautiful. And I think he's
Hmm.
really kind as just even a person. He's just such a kind man.
Hmm. So did you see the final cut once it was done, the eighth episode?
I did. I did.
Ah, okay. So
I did.
like, how did you react after watching the sequence yourself?
So I think I cried a little bit, but you know what? The
Oh,
thing
so
is, I mean, yeah,
hmm.
but I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is one of my best works that is coming out, and but I sometimes, it you just because you've been through it and because you've done it, and because it's like, after Chak De, how I react to the movie after watching it with the rest of the world, and I'm like, लोग पागल हो रहे हैं, पर मुझे तो पता है क्या हो रहा है, मुझे मुझे इतना बड़ा नहीं आया ना. So it's the same thing. When I looked at the sequence in the whole 8th episode, I was like, it's very good, but like how everybody else kind of reacts is a little different. And I know for a fact that हमेशा ऐसा होता है, मेरे साथ तो हमेशा होता है कि I could have done this a little better, I could have done that a little better. But I think it's the first time in my life that I've come back home and I have said that, you know what, I gave it everything. I really gave it everything. And I'm so proud of just that bit, whether everybody likes it or whether, see, because it's also a huge issue with women, like there's a line that Kumudrisha says, कि अगर if I had done it, it would have been okay. Just because if you're a woman, you can't. And sometimes me and Archit used to have this conversation about, I don't know, maybe Vaishali will just get a lot of brickbats. Maybe a lot of women will connect to it. But men will be like, what the hell, yeah? You know what I mean? Like,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where a woman is not supposed to have as many desires or whatever. Or it's okay for a man. I mean, it's not okay.
In a society like we live, basically.
And I'm not talking this, in 2022. I'm also talking about, 20, 30 years back.
I got that.
There is, I mean, even now, I'm sure the bias is always there. But it's a very huge thing that as a man, it's okay to go out of your marriage to get something that you're not getting from your wife. But is it okay for a woman to go out and do the same thing? The strangest thing is, Maharishi Manu has defined one of these things in the Upanishads, where one of the reasons that a woman can take another husband or another man is if her husband is impotent. So, or if he takes sannyas, and there are 6 things that are allowed, and one of the things is this. So, but right now in this day and age,
it's in the laws also. It's in the laws also.
It is, but I like, who will want to follow? Which is why I said, Vaishali, for me, also is extremely courageous. I don't know if I would have the courage to do something like this. To sort of, if I was living in a small town and, to just say at whatever 20 something years old, I'm just leaving my husband and going. The good thing about her is she never told anybody why she left him. That's the one thing that's always there. That's why even I think Aurora still feels the way he does for her. But,
and he takes us on his journey because of you only, because you played a major role in that, no?
Only I played a major role. Now, why else would he do? He's on this journey because of me. Basically, he became
Dr. Aurora because of you.
Because of Vaishali. Simple. And so I feel like this was a very ripe point that probably everybody would kind of miss, because why he became a doctor and what it is for women to be stuck in a relationship that offers nothing. And I think that at some point, the brief, of course, we've added layers and layers to her, because she, whatever said and done, even if she's left him and gone, there is a guilt that has been killing her for many, many, many years. And maybe that is the reason why she's even entertained him a little bit once he's come back to her, initially. That whole thing about the outburst is that, okay, I have screwed your life for whatever that I did with you and I left you. So if this is what is going to make you, if getting physical with me is going to make that go away, not for him, my guilt to go away, because you look, everything that she says in that scene is for her, it's what she feels about herself. And that is so, I mean, it was heartbreaking for me. But I know women come from a place of guilt as well, all the time. Even for somebody who's a city-bred girl like me, I will come from a guilt when, I feel like I haven't done enough, whether I have to get, if there is food or whatever, little things in the house, that I don't, if I haven't done them properly. So with her, the guilt is so much. and she thinks of herself as, whatever, a slut or a whatever, basically.
Even females could get connected to the role, the relatability that a female can get out through your character. Nobody would say that you play the slut. Everyone would say that you are the one, matlab, you are meant to play this character because the journey of a man is not only defined in the story, the journey of a woman is also defined, I believe.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. And I would say that, she feels as much as a man would feel, yeah, in any given situation. Why should she be or feel any less, or should not act on her desires also?
Hmm. Thank you so much, Vidya, for talking to us in Punjab Kesari Now the Times, and all the very, very best to you for your future endeavors as well.
Thank you, guys. Go ahead and watch Aurora. It's streaming now on Sony Live, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it. And give a thumbs up to
Thank
Vaishali.
you.
I hope you really like her, because I had a ball playing her.